Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Music is Medicine Monday. My name is Amy Thiessen, and I'm here every week sharing music and talking about voice and communication and expression. I work holistically with voice. So I work from everything from embodiment and connection and self-understanding and awareness, all the way through that liminal space of expression, into expression. So taking what we feel, what we sense, and communicating it effectively. And singing is a really beautiful way to create more resonance in the system. Singing offers us a place to express emotions and feelings and things that are going on in us without having to understand exactly what they are, without having to analyze them. Singing helps to balance both hemispheres of our brain and actually balance our physiology so that our nervous system is more grounded. We are more centered. And music and singing is often done in a group. And when we sing together, we create this really strong sense of belonging and connection. So with that, over the last while here in Canada, and I know just the last several months in general, have been challenging for a lot of people. And here in Calgary, we're kind of in lockdown again. So I wanted to offer something to the community for us to come together and sing and voice together. On December 12th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., I have an event called To Gather in Voice, which is a free online concert and workshop where I will play for you. I'll do some loop pedal stuff. We'll do some singing exercises together and some connection exercises. And even though, we can't hear each other and we can't be with each other in the way that maybe we want to, when we sing, when we come into that space in us, we can feel each other, even through the ether. And so I would love, love, love for you to join us. It's again December 12th. The link is below. Please check it out. It's totally free. As for today, today I want to talk about the power of pause, which really is the power of grace, and how we can use space to create more impactful communication. So the blog below is all about that, and it's what I'll talk about after I play a couple songs. These are two songs that just felt like grace to me, and so I want to share them with you. The first one is Songbird. The arrangement is by Eva Cassidy. For you, there'll be no crying. For you, the sun will be shining, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. To you I'd give the world. To you I'd never be cold, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before, like never before, like never before. As I said, to me, the power of pause, the power of space, is really an allowance of grace to come in. An allowance to be touched by the kiss of grace. And so this song seemed only fitting. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour we but now I see through many dangers, toils, and snares we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace, oh grace, will lead us home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing in all God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see. The power of pause. The power of space. The power of grace. To let it in. To let it move through us. To let it hold us when it is uncomfortable or scary. The power of pause is beyond just communication. It's the power to be with ourselves and to be with another. the willingness to let our words have weight and have impact, and to allow the same for others. In the blog below, I talk about kind of 4 places where space, where pause really affects our breath and our speaking and our communication. And the first is the space to rest. What is the space to rest? You'll have to excuse me one moment as my dog is growling. One sec. Hi. You okay? Come on up. Come on up. Come on. Yeah. There we go. So the first is space for rest. This last weekend, I was feeling pretty heavy and a bit overwhelmed with just things in life. And fortunately, I was able to get into my body and just be with it, be with the presence of it, be with the weight, allow it to exist. And at the same time, I noticed, especially on Sunday, this like desperation in me to fix it, to make it better, to do something. Oh, I must need to do more. And there was a really strong urge to be comparing myself to other people and to go out and figure out what was next. And fortunately, again, I know myself well enough, I kind of stepped away from everything. And I sat in my room and I just took a few deep breaths and I laid down and I looked at the sky and then just allowed myself to be with that weight, to be with the heaviness. And then I went for a walk with my partner, and as we were walking, it wasn't to get rid of anything, it was just to be with it, to walk alongside it, to coexist, befriend it, be with it, to walk alongside it, and to just rest, to let the fixing, the doing, the more, to just have space where there wasn't that excitement to do it. And we went for this beautiful walk, and most of the walk, we went for tea and played with the dogs in the park, and most of the walk, even when there was a smile or a little bit of joy, I could still feel the heaviness. And that's okay, just keep walking. And then if you happened to be here last night in Calgary, the sky was one of the most beautiful skies I've ever seen. And when we were walking home along the river, the clouds had turned electric, and they perfectly framed these Chinook clouds that look like blinds, perfectly framed this electric blue sky and the city's skyline. And then the river rushing past to my side was reflecting all the light. And in that moment, there was just space. I turned, my heart felt light, I felt open. There was a sense of peace. And that's rest. To give ourselves the time for what's in us to move, to sleep, to take breaks from the media or from the news. Even if we don't have a ton of time, to sit in the bathroom for 3 minutes, close our eyes, and have nothing else to care about but that. In intensity of life, as we kind of get going, especially when there's anxiety or there's fear, there's nervousness, there's a real strong tendency to go to coping mechanisms, to fix. That's one of mine. To be a perfectionist, that's also one of mine. To make sure everything's right. But just to rest, and to give ourselves time for rest. And we can even give it a time period. I know that that's an important thing maybe I need to worry about, but instead of doing that right now, I'm going to give myself a day or an hour to not worry about that thing and to just be. Just be. And that's going to impact our communication on various levels, because we'll tend to be more connected with where we are. The next place I talk about pause is in intention. It's very similar. When we're dealing in a conversation that is maybe bigger or more challenging or more difficult, taking some space from our narrative about that person or our narrative about ourselves, and to allow ourselves to really connect to the humanity of the other. to see them as a person, deserving of respect and clarity and kindness, and seeing ourselves as the same. And then having an intention that is not about making them do something or forcing them or making them see or being right, but is really about connecting and understanding each other. And though that's not going to guarantee that the other person is going to be on board, it definitely increases the probability. Because if I come to you with an idea already that you're going to judge me or that you never listen, I'm going to communicate very differently, maybe a little more desperately, maybe a little bit more aggressively, than if I pause and go, right, you're a person, and this is about mutual understanding. And as soon as I do that, I'm more willing to listen. I'm more willing to engage in an understanding way. The third one I talk about is actually pausing for listening. This is particularly useful for people who don't speak a lot. You know, they might say something short, or you can tell there's more underneath it. When we're talking, to actually wait after they've answered something, after they've said something, give them space. Allow yourself to be in the silence. And then maybe more will come out. Maybe you'll hear more. And the same goes for you, to take space to hear what you're saying, to listen, to understand, and then to speak from that place. Which leads into the fourth category, which is actually pausing when you speak. You'll notice that I've been talking with spaces in between my words. I'm allowing my words to land, to have time. And that time can make them more impactful, but it also tends to ensure that I'm going to speak from a deeper place. When we get excited, when we get nervous, when we get, all these things, we start to talk a little bit higher, we talk a little bit quicker, and then when we're doing this, it might be hard for people to grasp what we're saying, or we might have so much coming out at once. When we take pauses when we speak, it allows us to feel the voice coming more from the belly and actually letting it land in our body and in our system. Now, I know that there are situations when people talk fast or they talk at you. And so these ways of being might not seem as effective. But I invite you to play with it. If you notice you're talking to someone and you're both just talking kind of fast and at each other, slow down. And when you speak in a way that is quite mindful and connected, and ask them questions from this place. We tend to mirror the energy we're with. And so even by changing that, by becoming more connected in our voice, then that can change the dynamic of the conversation. Anyways, those are just some ideas of how we can bring pause and space to create more impactful communication and self-understanding, which leads to communication. Thank you all so much for joining me, as always. And please, I would love to have you join on December 12th. It's free, concert and workshop, a place to just sing and listen and connect in community, because I think right now we really need each other, even if it's just feeling each other through the ether. Thank you again, and have a beautiful week.